Welcome back to the Sports Renegades here on SportsDownChicago.com. I'm Ryan Stuprich.
And I'm Ryan Risky. And coming back, we just talked about or previewed the AL playoff race. And one thing we did not discuss, the Yankees, of course, they traded for Sonny Gray from the Oakland Athletics. He's making his debut tonight against the Cleveland Indians.
Yeah, that's right. In Cleveland against Kluber, right?
Yep. Against Corey Kluber. It is 2-0 Indians in the bottom of the fourth inning.
Okay.
Sonny Gray has allowed 1 hit and 2 unearned runs. In that inning, there were 2 errors.
Was one by Castro.
I take that back.
Or Castro's on
I take that back. There were 3 errors in that inning.
Oh, my.
There was a fielding error by Chase Headley, a fielding error by Wade, their second baseman.
Yeah.
And a throwing error on
Wade,
Clint Frazier.
Clint Frazier. Not Todd, Clint. Isn't it weird how they have 2 Fraziers on that team?
It is.
Like, it's not that popular. But
yeah, Tyler Wade, their second baseman, made an error. So, yeah, 3 errors resulted in 2 runs. Sonny Gray has only allowed 1 hit. I'm thinking Sonny would look much better in a Cubs uniform with that Cubs defense behind him.
Right.
That wouldn't be doing that.
No, I don't think. Yeah, the Yankees have had some defensive issues. The Cardinals have had horrible defensive issues for like 2 years now. So there's a lot of teams. The Cubs are not one of those teams. The Cubs are on the other side of that. They're one of the best overall defensive teams, and they've been that way for a few years.
And the White Sox, just an update on the Cubs, are still in a rain delay tie.
I know, unbelievable. Still in a rain delay.
White Sox are now down 7-5.
Oh,
Nicky Delmancio. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Delmonico.
We'll go with that.
It might be Delmonico. Sounds a little better.
It's a long name. Okay, Nicky Delmonico, the left fielder, just hit a 3-run homer off of Rick Porcello.
When Nicky Delmonico's hitting homers off of you, you're not very good.
Rick Porcello's ERA has jumped up to 4.78.
Ugh, yikes.
The reigning Cy Young winner, actually, if he qualifies for the win, that his record would be 5-14.
5-14.
If he gets
this
the win
is the guy that
tonight.
won the AL Cy Young.
If he gets the win tonight, it would be 5-14. If not, it'll be 4-14, assuming the Red Sox win.
Now look what's happened the last 2 years with AL Cy Young winners. Keuchel won it in 2015. He was terrible in 2016 and hurt. And Rick Porcello won it in 2016 and terrible this year.
There's not many people that thought Rick Porcello was the best pitcher in the American League last year.
No, but I mean he was deserving of the award.
He was.
I'm not saying he should have won, but
I still have a hard time believing that sentence. And this is even before this season happened. Rick Porcello was the best pitcher in the American League last year.
Doesn't sound right, you know?
No, not when you have guys like Chris Sale, who was very good last year. Justin Verlander, who was very good and better than Porcello last year.
Oh, yeah. That's right. He beat out Sale. How do you beat? It doesn't even.
He beat out Sale and Verlander, who was very good. I forget who the third nominee was, except he was also more deserving.
Archer, maybe. I have no idea. But
no, that was last year. Archer had a 4.07 ERA.
All right. Moving on to the National League now. At the beginning of the season, and now this is going to sound outrageous. I had my wild card teams were Miami and the Mets. I'm not kidding. I'm pretty sure it was Miami and the Mets. And
please explain.
I'm trying to think on who I had winning. I want to say I had the Mets moving on just because of their pitching. So I think I had the Mets playing like the Cubs in the DS this year, and the Cubs were going to get retribution from 2015, something like that. I skipped out on Milwaukee, which I think a lot of people did, and St. Louis and Pittsburgh, and. Yeah, I didn't have any of those NL West teams. I didn't have Arizona or Colorado.
I don't think anybody did. And I don't think anyone had the Dodgers being this good.
If I was smarter, I would have had one of those teams in the wild card.
I'm going to be honest. I don't remember what my wild card prediction was. I know I had my division winners were Cubs, Giants, Nationals, or Cubs, Dodgers, Nationals. I'm pretty certain I had the Mets. And I'm going to be honest,
I know you didn't have Miami.
If I think if I'm right, I believe
St. Louis
picked the Giants.
Giants? Oh, yeah, but that makes more sense. A lot of people did earlier in the season because they're the Giants and blah, blah, blah. And now they're 41-68, and they're like the worst team in baseball.
It's an odd year.
It is an odd year, but, I mean, the Cubs kind of broke that trend for them last year, luckily. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, all it took was the greatest ninth-inning comeback in postseason history. I know to finally take down the Giants.
They were left to dry. My friend was texting me. He's like, "How do you feel about Johnny Cueto in Game 5?" And I was like, "I don't feel great about it. I'd rather win now." And then they went on this epic comeback.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what you got to do to defeat a team that's won 3 times in 6 years. It's what that's how teams were trying to beat the Blackhawks and the Kings. After they had been winning the Cup.
True.
In hockey.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And going back to the NL playoff race, what a lot of people, I don't think there's many people that have really thought much about this. Yes, if the Cubs win this game, they will be 2.5 up on the Brewers for the division. However, I'm one of those people. I honestly, I feel like the division, even though it's only 2.5 games, I feel like the Cubs are gonna win it.
Oh, yeah.
You just had that feeling it's over, except I think the next thing, home field advantage in the NLDS. They are 6 games behind the Nationals.
It can be done.
For a home field advantage in the NLDS.
What they need is to win 2 out of 3 this weekend.
Exactly.
To help.
They play the Nationals 3 times this weekend. And I don't think they'll face Scherzer. And it's not, as you said, Gio Gonzalez probably will be placed on paternity leave, so he won't be pitching.
Right. So that's good.
The Nationals have not announced their rotation this weekend because
is Strasburg still hurt? Is he healthy?
Speculation Strasburg could come back this weekend. I don't know if he will, except if he doesn't, that would mean Scherzer, Gio, and Strasburg don't pitch, and that would mean you need to be sweeping that series. You'd be facing guys like Tanner Roark, A.J. Cole, Jacob Turner, Edwin Jackson, probably. Those
Jacob Turner and Edwin Jackson back at the old stomping grounds. How about that?
Yeah. Actually, Turner might have been DFA'd.
I
don't know.
Wouldn't surprise me.
He made a few starts for them this season. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like the Cubs will win the division. I mean, obviously, that's a little thingy more ahead, except that's doable to pass the Nationals and get home field advantage, especially, they've been on a little skid. They're 5-5 in their last 10 games, and the Cubs really could make it interesting if they were to sweep them this weekend or take 2 of 3.
Yeah.
So I think this series this weekend is huge. So you might need to get out to a game. They won the last time you went.
I know that they did, but that was against the Padres. Okay?
They lost when I went against the Padres.
I know, but they won those first 2, so it made a little more sense. But I don't know. It's great. I mean, they lose a lot when I go too, Ryan. So I think we both have a bad luck charm for something. I don't know.
Usually it's when we go together.
And when we go together, we don't have good luck. Although we did last year.
Last year, yeah.
Although everything was clicking last year.
We saw them. I think we saw them win every time we went last year. It was 3 or 4 times.
Yeah. We saw the doubleheader, and then
we went to a game in April against the Reds.
Milwaukee is, as we said, 57-53. That they're 5.5 back of the wild card. So I mean, it's still doable for them. I'm waiting for them to fall off. They're 4-6 in their last 10. So I mean, that's not really a complete fall off, but I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for them to fall off, and I don't know. And I don't know what happened to the Pirates. I thought coming out of the second half, I thought the Cubs and Pirates would be the 2 best teams in the division. I was waiting for the Pirates to make a leap and pass up St. Louis and Milwaukee.
Tony Watson to the Dodgers. And speaking of the Dodgers,
can anybody they're on beat pace them? For 114 wins, I think, something like that.
And they have Clayton Kershaw on the DL.
Yeah, I mean, Alex Woods picked up the slack, and just everyone started hitting every young guy that they've called up. Cody Bellinger and Corey Seager's continued
Cody
to
Bellinger,
be good.
the third fastest at 30 home runs.
They had that Farmer guy who had a walk-off single a couple days ago. I mean, it's just unbelievable what they've been able to do.
And their MLB record, 54 consecutive games in which they had a lead that they won.
Unbelievable.
Which means that pretty much means that the moment they got the lead, they won.
They're 47-13 at home. That's a huge home record.
This means absolutely nothing. I'm just gonna bring it up anyways.
Yeah.
The Cubs are one of the few teams that took a series from the Dodgers this year. They took 2 of 3 at Wrigley back in April. Before
when we were
Bellinger,
still partying in April.
Before Bellinger, before Alex Wood was put into the rotation.
That's the series when they got their rings and everything. We were at the
one. They took 2 of 3, and you and I went to the loss.
But that's all right because they got their rings. I wasn't so mad about that one. I was more mad about Milwaukee.
You mean when Lackey gave up 4 home runs with the wind blowing in?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
exactly. That's the one. And
John Lackey, has been much better since the All-Star break.
I know. I still can't rely on
it. Well, here's the thing. You won't have to in the playoffs. Your playoff rotation is going to be less.
I know.
And it could be, this isn't the order. Your 4 guys will be Lester, Arrieta, Quintana, Hendricks, bearing an injury. And John Lackey, actually.
Yeah, how's he going to feel if he doesn't make the postseason roster? Is he just going to be
out
of the bullpen?
They'll probably put him in the bull.
Wow.
Does he think that he should be starting over those 4 though?
If he puts himself in Theo and Jed's shoes, he'd probably say no. But I don't think he is. I think he's going to be really mad. But that's okay.
I'm the second highest paid pitcher on this staff.
Didn't come here for a haircut. Came here to give up leadoff home run in the playoffs.
Yeah, and the thing is, speaking of the home runs, I think he has allowed 1 home run since July 5th.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that he's terrible, but I mean, when you look at that rotation,
I'm sorry, 2.
It's clear
he allowed 2.
He'd be the odd man out.
He allowed 1 home run, and remember, he was on pace to allow like 55 home runs before the All-Star break, and then he had a start against Tampa Bay, which I was at. 6 innings, 3 runs. The Cubs ended up winning, did not give up a home run. I believe it was 5 innings, 1 run against the Braves, his first start after the All-Star break.
Yeah, he was pretty good there.
In which, the 1 run was a home run, and people on, Cubs Nation
here he goes
were
again.
going nuts. Oh, my God, are you kidding me, Lackey? And I'm like, he's allowed 1 run. He's allowed 1 run, and you're complaining?
Yeah, so hopefully...
And this is in the summer. This isn't in April when he was allowing all these home runs.
Yeah, so I mean, hopefully... Well, I think he's turning around because a lot of the other players are turning it around. So hopefully
the team,
that's the trend.
The overall morale of the team got a boost with the Quintana trade.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to take a break. We'll come back. We're going to talk Bears as they are underway in Bourbonnais with all their... fun stuff going on.
I have very bad news.
Oh, no. We were talking about the Bears, and now we're getting even worse news.
Wade Davis
that we're
came
talking about
in
the Bears.
and allowed a home run to Paul Goldschmidt, and then allowed a home run to J.D. Martinez. It's 10-8.
10-8. Man, Wilson Contreras is going to really have to step up his game here in the bottom of the ninth.
Hey. Rizzo's due up first. He walks. Contreras home run tie game.
And then they'll play deep into the night. You're listening to Sports Renegades on SportsTownChicago.com.